Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Argos Row, House Scorpio, and you're tuning to G.R.D. Oh, it's been a couple of days since I did a post, I know, and I got a big update. I've been busy, man. Uh, Completed a disaster relief course and first aid course. Got certified, me and my cousin. You probably heard him on the last podcast, but he's gone back home now. And that took a lot out of us. And then we celebrated Sunday. Had a couple of drinks, and really, yeah, just. And I haven't been drinking that much. So like, it was a massive dry spell. So it was kind of like I went on a bender. But Monday had a little bit of recovery. Stay hydrated, thankfully. So I didn't really even have a hangover really, so it wasn't even that bad. But I had to get focused and get reorganized and get back on it. Got some new developments with this project. There's only a couple days left. Can you believe it? Even with the days that I didn't post anything, like I still followed through with the regimen. I'm not even gonna go over the days past horoscopes, as that's gonna be part of the test. I've mentioned before that the days that you don't post. I think I either said, well, let me be clear here, because I know I had 3 for sure that I didn't post and I didn't check horoscopes. So that means, let's see, Friday, Saturday. No, I recorded the crepuscular episode on Saturday, I believe, if not Friday. That the passing Friday is at the time of posting this, so last week. It was 21st. See, 21st, 22nd. That I recorded the crepuscular episode and uploaded it sometime shortly after. So this will be, I'm predicting, at least minimum 5 days I did not post and did not check the horoscope. I just went on about like normal. I was aware of the project, but I didn't check the horoscope. So since I'm doing this early at 0838 right now, I'm gonna go ahead and check the horoscope and see what it says at our good old friends at astrology.com. Instead of wasting time trying to discover the root of the problem you are having at home, jump right in and start patching up the tension as quickly as you can. Making peace should be your main goal right now, not sorting through all the details and figuring out who said what to whom or who didn't deliver on their promise to whomever. Sometimes the blame game is pointless. It doesn't always help bring about detente. I have to look that up. Agreeing to disagree can be the perfect solution to the discord. Okay, I'm feeling that. So there's a little bit of tension between me and my lady right now because, well, she knew I was going through this training period with the new employment and all that stuff. So it's kind of driving a wedge, if you will. And I'm like, okay, is this going to be a problem going forward? So we'll see. I'm not even getting too much greater detail because I only felt it was worth mentioning that part because it mentioned agreeing to disagree on stuff, and we did. I had to agree to disagree, and she had to agree to disagree whether she admitted it or not. But we did. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Now I gotta look up the word detente. What the hell is detente? I would ask Siri to define it, but obviously I'm recording. All right, here we go. Detente. Oh, detente. If that's the phonetic spelling of it, that should say. Detente, a noun, the easing of hostility or strained relations, especially between countries. Okay, so let's go back and see how to read this. This was, okay, here we go. Making peace should be your main goal right now, not sorting through all the details and figuring out who said what to whom or whom didn't deliver on their promise. Sometimes the blame game is pointless. It doesn't always bring about detente. Yeah, detente. Yeah, I said it right. So it always doesn't bring about hostility. If I'm reading that right, it's a French word apparently. Tension. Basically, it comes down to the word tension. So let me reread that one more time. Sometimes the blame game is pointless. It doesn't always help bring about tension. I mean, I was with it before. I'm with the message today. I'm agreeing, but it's just like I don't. It doesn't seem like that word should have been applicable there. It should have been reworded. But all right, we'll go with it. Let's go over to finance because I want to talk about something else here. Okay, face it, you're a shopaholic. If you buy one tiny thing on impulse, you risk buying 100 tiny things on impulse. The only way to avoid slipping is to avoid any chance of shopping. It's surprisingly easy. Yeah, when you already paid all your bills and then you don't have any money left over for anything else, or if you're budgeting for something, like I said, this is even getting this gainful employment for a part-time position is hold on one second, I gotta back up. I don't have it. Oh yeah, by the way, the truck is running again. It's all repairs are done. I actually came in on some money. That's weird. That's so weird. Just talking about shopping. That's so weird. Because I just got the truck fixed. I said I was gonna wait till next month, but I got some extra money and I was like, fuck it, I'll spend it. But it was a necessary purchase to me. If you have a reliable machine to get you to point A to point B, I mean, come on. That should be a no-brainer. Get your vehicle fixed. Get your truck fixed. And quite frankly, I did miss riding higher. And I love the Subaru. I do. Sitting low, going fast around corners and all that. It's fun. It really is. I don't think I'll ever really get tired of it. But on the day-to-day grind, nah, man. Automatic is the way to go. And this has come from me. I'm in my 20s, so it's like I'm just being real. But anyways, the whole shopaholic thing, I don't think I'm really a shopaholic because I mean, I pretty much have my equipment that I use on the regular and I maintain it. So I'll still agree with it because of I'm gonna say it's a hit, just like the daily horoscope is a hit. But yeah, I'm not a materialistic person like that where I have to go that route. But anyways, that's good. Today's starting off relatively well. So this is what I want to talk about real quick. Real quick. This is crazy. I was finishing up some GIS work, right? And I finally got the computer up and running because apparently GIS only works on PC, so I had to basically ditch my MacBook and go to the PC world, which is fine. I was thinking about getting rid of my MacBook anyway. Excuse me, allergies. I forgot to get the truck dusted out. I washed it, but I didn't wash the interior, so to speak. Not literally wash the interior, people. Come on, bear with me. But yeah. Sorry about the little nasal sounds right there. But anyways, so I got my laptop. I got the laptop running. I'm about to switch over to the PC. I might even go Android, but all my apps and creative stuff's on my Apple devices, so I might as well just at least keep two of my Apple devices here. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. I was watching this show called Love, Death, and Robots. Some of y'all might have heard of it. And it was, oh man, it was like that's like that type of just choreography and film style and some of the editing. I mean, there was two of them and I was just like, man, I did not like the art style. It was not vibing with me, and the editing was just booty. But what I'm trying to say is that it was great. Like, it felt like a refresher. And keep in mind, I didn't read any horoscopes yesterday, so I don't know if that was needed or not needed or neutral. But yeah, man, I'm like, I felt the message through there. Like, you're alive, humanity, you got one shot. I feel it. Like, a lot of the stories I'm trying to do this without spoiling anything, so it sounds like I'm rambling. Okay, tell you what, It's my podcast. It's my thing. Here's your early warning. Mute this if you don't want to hear spoilers or you don't want to hear any key details that I might pick out that might spoil the God, I think it was like 12 short stories, or maybe 13 or 14. I'm not sure. It's definitely double digits. Like I ended my day watching it, so it's quite lengthy because there's a lot of them. But anyways, leave now, mute it, come back, whatever you want to do. Just ooh, wow, rough roads coming up. Sorry for the noise, people. You know how I do things. It should be pretty standard at this point now. I record in my truck a lot, or my vehicles, because I'm on the go. Anyway, so yeah, this is your chance to leave. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You were warned. So, okay, sorry about that. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, and I got interrupted. And thankfully, it didn't delete. So I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode right now. There we go. So yeah, anyways, the first story. I don't remember there's like little subtitles that come up for each one, but it was the one with the 3 robots. It's the very first one. It's the initial one. When I first saw that, I was like, oh man, I'm feeling this. I like it. It's CG. The jokes were witty. They're on point. But it was just pointing out, it was making jabs at humanity's shortcomings. But the shortcomings that also make us what we are as a species, you know. So I found that very, do I want to say comforting? Oh man, I chose the back road to go down today. Sorry, the truck's gonna be shaking right now. Just fair warning. It pointed out all the shortcomings, making fun of it. Like, there's this instance where they were at the diner, right? And the white robot, they didn't really have names, but they called him the X-bot. There's another joke in there, but it's like, man, what's with these things? These humans, they have to eat matter, and then it goes into a vat of acid, and then they put the matter back out. That's so stupid. Who designed them? And then the female robot, she's like this triangular, like prism looking robot. Like, if you remember the robot from Futurama, that was the preacher. Imagine that, but she breaks off into different pieces, like a very, again, it's like a triangular pyramid structure creature. She's able to shift herself. But the joke was, she's like, goes into this deep introspective look at humanity, and it's like, damn, nigga, like, just like they revered their creator species, but they thought they were created by someone. But then it turns out, nope, they were just a product of a hot bowl of soup. Basically, she was making jabs at the primordial soup theory. Like, all life came out of a little microbial pool of water, and then we're all here. And it might be true. It might be true. But then it's just jokes like that. I said this is spoilers. I'm trying not to ruin the joke because it's a good setup. It's a good punchline. So, okay, come back if don't worry. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to spoil it. It's a good joke if you're into kind of dry, dark, witty humor. Think Jimmy Carr meets George Carlin-type-esque humor. Yeah, okay, so moving forward, the next one was that really stood out, and I'm not going to say this in any particular order. Maybe that would help not spoil things. It was a Chinese, were they Chinese? Yeah, they had to be Chinese because he said they were making chink jokes. It was based on the Cubies, the Chinese legend forms about women seducing men, and how they were basically these 9-tailed foxes that would transform into humans. And, well, the boy, Yan, no, the girl's name was Yan, actually, excuse me. The girl's name is Yan. I don't think they actually said the boy's name, other than his name was just Boy, or maybe his name was Han. The point is, they go off into the world after the boy's dad, he's like a bounty hunter to kill Cubies, goes to slay the mom of Jan, which is the female that goes with him later on in the story. So the premise was the two children meet up and they have a discussion. And the discussion went like this: your dad kills people like us because they don't understand. They're afraid of us. They're you humans. And this is based on the world of magic and Chinese mythical lore. But then the human responds saying, no, your kind is the one that lures us into like sexual seduction and da 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 da. And then they start to realize, oh shit, like, you know, we're both the same. We're just trying to live out here. It's like she uses this line saying, your father fell in love with one of our kind, just like he could fall in love with one of the humankind. So what's really the difference? And then she hits him one more time, not physically, but she hits him with another one across the head with, I saw the way you looked at me, how did that make you feel? And then he had to think about it. He's like, well, shit, I don't really want to kill you, because he was with his dad on a bounty hunting mission. So it fast forwards, the mom gets decapitated. The dad actually, well, he does his job. The girl never held it against him because she recognized that they both were at the same level. Like, this shit is stupid. Why are we killing each other? It doesn't make any sense. To the point where, I guess, they'd never say what year it was or anything like that, but they were talking about how the world of magic was disappearing. And it made me start thinking about real life, how people would go to apothecaries, they would talk about magic and witchcraft, witches, warlocks, and all this stuff. Like, this was a thing on our planet at one time that mainstream science is now just discounted completely. Like, they just let it go. And it's interesting to see. Hold on, I gotta make a turn here. It's interesting that these things, they existed at one point in time in our lives, or in our species' timeline on this planet. So then the white people show up, they colonize, I guess, a greater portion of China, because they're in China. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was definitely China, because they made racial slurs about how they look. So then the white people come in with their steel and iron, and talking about how steel, iron, and metal have basically overridden the old world, which was magic and spirituality, with this new invitation of science and metallurgy and alchemy. So what happens is, the boy, he gets a job working in the colonized area, running trains and stuff. Not those kind of trains on women, but we'll get to that in a second. Running the train system for them, learning their technology, and then basically perfecting it, and realizing that although the white people look at it like metallurgy and whatnot, he looked at it as, oh, this is the new magic. Science is the new magic. It's just done differently. The key difference was that one's done with the heart, the other one's done with the mind, instead of using both. So then when he figured that out, when you use both, he built this robot, this steam, it was like steampunk-ish, like it was like steampunk genre. And he built a rabbit that ran off of fire. But the way the metal moved, it was unlike anything anyone had ever saw, because it blended the organic chemistry with the metallurgy to make the body and the anatomy of living creatures possible through metallurgy. So, again, God, I'm going back and forth, because it's like I can't really tell the full story without kind of spoiling some shit. So, spoiler alert, close your ears, whatever, walk away for at least 30 seconds. The girl ends up becomes a sex worker, and she kind of quasi says, I guess, I lived up to the expectation that you humans said, that we trick men for money, blah, 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 blah. But she basically had no choice, because she couldn't transform back into her raw QB form, the little nine-tailed fox. And then, so what happens is, she gets caught up in the prostitution ring. One of the higher-up peoples in the government at the time took her body, did these transformations, turned her into basically a steam robot, because that was the only way he can get his nut off. And then he asked her to help her one time because she saw what he could do with their machines. So he modified her, and she was finally able to transform back into her fox form via using the metal alchemy of the system that was in place. So that was a little spoiler of it. And like I said, the reason why I find that one fascinating, it kind of hit home, is because science is the new magic. It really is. People have said this before. I'm not the first, and I'm probably not going to be the last. But understanding how things work can appear to be like magic. How you can just see the patterns in your head and just make it happen without any explanation. In a way, magic was the same way. It's not so much trickery like some magic things are trickery. It's just sleight of hand, illusionary movements, and it's deception, but it's not like, there's a word for it. It's just basically taking your eye off of something, and then you using it to manipulate what a person saw because you're focusing on one thing. So like I'm saying here, look at my left hand, don't look at the right, but I'm still focused on the left. I'm looking at the left, you look at the left, that sort of thing. But science is now more of the, okay, alchemy, metallurgy, these are things that people have done in the past, but now there's written formula for it, there's mathematical calculations and quantities and variabilities that you can put into it, to the point where you can get it finally honed in to make it something that you want it to be. Again, alchemy being the big one, and metallurgy being the second largest. What else? That's what that episode, and you guys will see that. The other one was a kind of a fight. Do I want to say fighting? It's kind of like Fight Club-ish. The girl. How do I explain this one? Because there was really no context other than it was a person getting revenge and fighting for their life. Think girl with the dragon tattoo meets Avatar. That's the best way I can describe the next one, because she was raped, beaten, and scarred up. Like they did some sadistic shit to her. They called them the estate, really. It's like the rich oligarchs in this particular. Now, mind you, none of these are connecting stories. None of them. Not a single one. And like I said, there was like at least 13 or 14 of them, if not more. None of them really picked up where the last one left off. They're all... excuse me. Y'all are contagious. I'm sorry. They were their own self-contained stories. So this one, again, is more like the girl with the dragon tattoo meets Avatar. She, again, I was saying she got raped by the rich oligarchs. Again, the white guys, doing their thing or whatever. They get their comeuppance. I'm getting there, but turns out she was I guess she's kind of lesbian or whatever. She was hitting on the chick after she had won the fight, because they wanted her to take a dive for $500,000, and she's like, "This ain't about the money. It's some things are worth more than money." And so that kind of got underneath his skin, because he's trying to buy everything. You can't buy certain things, and I was feeling that vibe. And then at the end, the little, I guess his mistress, the rich guy's mistress, came in, was trying to seduce old girl. There's gonna get physical, whatever. I was like, she's there at your place. She's an assassin. Automatic. And lo and behold, she was trying to assassinate her. But the trick was, even as the girl was down on the floor, because she got impaled with the girl's fingernails or something. She used some kind of impaling mechanism to try to kill her. They didn't realize that she was just a cyborg with circuits and chips. They had found the body that they had modified, and her friends had saved her from the estate. So they used the body that they found from the estate, modified it, put all these circuitry in it. She says, "Nice trick," because they tried to kill her. They didn't realize that she was the damn creature in the tank the whole time. I was like, that was so dope. That was a good twist. I like that twist. there's two more. I'm kind of running short on time here. I'll have to pick this up a little later, but there's two more that caught my eye. One was with y'all remember that '70s show? I think his name is Topher Grace. He played in a Spider-Man movie. He wasn't actually Spider-Man. I think he was Brock Turner in those. Anyways, it's that guy. He played Eric in the '70s show. Him and his girlfriend get an apartment. They find this old refrigerator that was left behind, and they see how civilizations come and go. And it was it was short and sweet. It was really like a less than 3 minute video. They see the evolution of species, like from this little pool. I guess this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the very, very first video, but they weren't related at all. This one was live action, mixed with CG. The majority of them are like highly stylized animations and art pieces and stuff like that. They just basically see the life cycle of a civilization come and go through their phases of basically what our humanity is going through right now, our species is going through, and then they achieve enlightenment, basically become pure energy, and then just disappear into the world. That was kind of cool to watch. Like, I thought they were going to get sucked into that world and have to live there. That never happened. It was like watching that's a good analogy. It was like watching a civilization game in real time in a real life. Like, you see it happen every time they open and close the fridge. A new epoch would happen, and then it was just funny. I just found that one kind of interesting and fascinating because it was literally like a real time civilization game. One more that kind of caught my eye that's like sticking in my memory was the last one, and it was the best one to end on. I'm not going to spoil that one. I'm only going to say Zima Blue. That's all I'm going to say. I'm leaving it at that. That one I will not spoil because that is a perfect way to end a compilation of videos that this love, death, and robot things was about. Like, that was the I would not think of a better way to end it. That was a perfect way to end it. So, and that's where I'm going to end this portion of the podcast. I will probably get to another recording of this, talk a little bit more about some of the projects coming up, some of the music that's going to be coming to the channel. Thinking about doing some live video segments of this before the end, or as far as the channel goes, just doing live video segments. I'm not sure yet. I don't know how I really want to go about doing that. But until then, I will catch you guys on the next one. And thanks for listening. I should be saying thank you for listening in. I haven't been saying that. Thank you for listening to me ramble and talk about some dope shit. I hope you do watch the show Love, Death, and Robots. It's quite interesting. And like I said, if you're into kind of dystopian, futuristic, cyberpunk, steampunk, very, very highly stylized artwork, even the ones that I didn't like, I still respect it as an art form. You just find time to sit down and watch it all in one setting. That's my recommendation. Other people might say watch it in pieces. I don't think you should piecemeal it. If you can withstand it and you have time and you're like off of duty or working or whatever, engage. I'd say engage. So, until later, peace. Okay, picking up where I last left off earlier today. Talking about love, death, and robots. Yeah, it was great. It was a great show, man. It's now 21:36. Picking this up, I think I kind of enjoyed this multi. Do I want to call it multi-part? Well, I know let's call it this checkpoint recording. I know I'm towards the end of this experiment with the horoscopes and how it's supposed to affect, and I there's really not enough time to add this fourth variable to the mix. Reading the horoscope during the day like I did earlier, and then comparing it to the night results, see how it really affected my day. going forward. Sorry, let me take the keys off the key ring while I'm driving. But yeah, I mentioned the app, the thing I'm working on, the project. I'd rather not talk too much about it now. I'll wait. Things a little more developed, so to speak. You know, it feels like once I've had that burst of, yes, energy, but something else. When I had that moment, there it is. That's a better sense of the word. Let me close the sunroof. I don't know if this is getting picked up or not. When I had that moment of recording, when I'm in that thought, I will conclude to say that it's done. I had the thought. The time to expand on it should have been then, when the energy is right. And right now, the energy does not feel right. And not right in the sense like bad or good. It's just the pacing and the tempo that was once recorded is not there. And you can probably tell that in the sound of my voice, the inflection, the long pauses and draws. Oh, wow. Fireworks over the freeway look brilliant. Give me a second. I got to merge. There we go. Now we're up to speed. Yeah, I like it to the fact where it feels like I'm still being productive, even towards the wind down of the day cycle. A lot was disseminated upon. I got new information about certain things that I used to follow throughout the early part of my 20s that I kind of had just let go, like the whole UFO thing, the alien thing, and I'm under the understanding that, you know, if we're here on this rock, I'm recording, I'm talking to you, there has to be other life forms out there. Now, whether, you know, they're super intelligent, it is debatable, but I listened to actually 2 podcasts today. One was Charlemagne the God, Joe Rogan, and Andrew Schultz, and then what's that boy's name? Jeremy Cromwell. Oh, like that fucking yawn. See, this is another thing. I don't want to be yawning on the podcast. It's not because I'm professional. It's just the energy. But anyways, Jeremy Cromwell and Bob Lazar on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like, I've heard Bob Lazar before with Phil Schneider and all these other things. It's like, it's really, I'll put it this way. There's a point in time where I used to put it like, that's just like white boy shit. Like, white people worry about aliens and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. Come on, man. Put a fucking signal on. It is nightfall. It's not hard. It's a black magic wand. You flick it, it lets people know where you're going. And then people just want to match your speed. And I get it. Fuck. I let the anger win on that one. All I'm saying is this new documentary came out on Netflix. I watched it all the way through. There are some new poignant points, and now that I've experienced things in my life and read things on my own accord at my own leisure, you know, I have a different viewpoint of what old boy Lazar was trying to present, and it just had me go, That's all. I'm not going to dive into it. You guys can watch the documentary or look them up. I'm not even going to. No. Just no. The song for this intro for these videos, I think it's done. I've always been a little reluctant releasing my personal works Like, boy, Argos, you have a podcast. How reluctant can you be? All these yawns are winning. Okay, I gotta end this quickly before I put myself to sleep on the road. I'm boring myself. Fuck. The song's almost done. I'm gonna work on the rest of it tonight while I got this little bit of creative juices still flowing in me. I guess maybe that's a subconscious reason why I wanted to pick up the podcast. Oh, and tomorrow, God willing, I will be able to post a real video. What's it going to be about? Well, you got to tune in and find out. So on that bombshell, I'm going to end it here. I thank you again for listening to me ramble. Hopefully you got something from it. I know I'm learning from it. And remember, G.R.D. Growth, Research, and Development. Are you keeping your guard up? I don't know. I'm still working on stuff like that. But anyways, peace.